Right.
Just start with an apology, we won't be able to do it.
Okay. G. Evercard Away, like Fault Goody Park is Sog. Good afternoon, everyone. You're welcome to Cusack Park here on our inaugural day for the Clare GAA TV channel. First of all, we have to give an apology to all our supporters and watchers all over the world, whoever is streaming in here on our YouTube channel. Due to technical difficulties, we're late in starting. I'm joined in co-commentary today by Clare, All-Ireland winner and double All-Star winner, Brendan Bugler. And Brendan, what a game, the Bridge and Ballyea to start off our Clare GAA TV channel.
Yeah, exactly, Leo. Look, you're talking about the county champions playing, I suppose, a team where I suppose everyone is looking on this year, you know, with Fitzy being involved. So look, it's going to be a great game, I'd imagine.
Yeah, and we'll take a moment as our round of Ian is being played here in Cusack Park. And now we have the two teams are taking up their positions on the field of play. We go first with the Ballyea team. In goals, is number 1 is Barry Coote, Brian Casey, Paul Flanagan, and Brian Carrick is the full back line. Peter Casey, Jack Brown, Brandon O'Connell will have back line. Tony Kelly, the team captain, and James Murphy on the field. Killian Brennan, Ty Clinch, and Gary Brennan will have forward line. Martin O'Leary, Niall Deasy, and Damien Buck is the full forward line. And we give it the Bridge team in the moment that the game is on. The ball is with Ty Clinch. He breaks out to Cameron Murray. Sixmilebridge in the blue and yellow jerseys. Ballyea in their black and amber jerseys, and Sixmilebridge defending the goals here at the end of the field. The ball is down with the corner forward. Brian Corey puts the ball across for Alex Morey. The ball is being caught by James Murphy. James Murray gives it to Brandon O'Connell. Brandon O'Connell for Ballyea breaks out to send the ball, crossfield ball across. Looking here for Gary Brennan. It's a corner forward, Damien Buck, but he's been beaten by Noel Purcell for the Bridge, coming up along the wing. Sixmilebridge, as we said, attacking the town goal. The ball is there with Gary Brennan and Shane Golden. The ball breaks out to Killian Brennan. Tony Kelly, the Ballyea midfielder trying to come into the game, getting the ball to Killian Brennan. The ball is there with Shane Golden. Shane Golden leaves it, but it's going to be picked up by Brandon O'Connell, one of the new stars of last year's county championship. The ball goes in across, looking for the corner forward. It's number 20 who has started the game. It's Mark Crowe, and the ball comes to Niall Deasy being marked out there tightly by Barry Fitzpatrick for the Bridge. With the Sixmilebridge team is in goals is Derek Fahey, Brian Carey, Barry Fitzpatrick, and Noel Purcell. Shane Murray, never met Merlin to have forward, and Shane Cole and Jason McNair midfield. Jamie Shanahan, Conor Deasy, Kevin Lynch, Cahir Malone, Alex Murray, and Brian Curry. And a ball in from the fullback, the shot from Paul Flanagan across the right hand side and gone wide. And Brendan, changes of plenty. Positions don't seem to mean much here today.
Not much yet, Leo. No, I'm just trying to see what way the Sixmilebridge are going to set up. They seem to be gone traditional enough with just the 6 backs and not 7 at the back. Paul Flanagan seems to be playing out in the wing, but I suppose looking out on the pitch here at the moment, Leo, like just to say that the conditioning that guys are in is absolutely unbelievable. You know, they're two very, very fit teams, very physical teams, and we should be in for a right battle.
Yeah, and the ball is pucked out by Derek Fahey, out to James Murphy, Alex Murray. What a hand pass across, looking for Jason McNain. Normally who has played before in the goals, gets across the ball into the corner, looking for the number 24. The number 24 is Pam Mulready. Pay, who's represented Clare at underage. Pay gets the ball across, looking for Cahir Malone, who scored 3-2 the last day here against Clarecastle in the first round. Malone gets a good cross-field ball across, but it's going to be picked out by Brandon O'Connell, who defeated Ballyea, who defeated Clooney after extra time here the last day. The ball is with out there to Jamie Shanahan. Jamie Shanahan gets it out. Here comes Sixmilebridge trying to break through. The ball is coming back out. He's going to find Shane Golden. Shane Golden, the ball comes back across. Jamie Shanahan beaten there. Shane Golden working hard in the middle of the field for Sixmilebridge. Going to open up the play here for Sixmilebridge. Cuts the ball across. Looking for Alex Morey. Alex Morey comes out. Gets the ball to Shane Morey. As I said, positions don't mean a thing here. A shot, 2 minutes Scott, and a shot in the first score of the bar from Shane Morey and Brendan Buckler. I said, what a leader, Shane Morey.
Yeah, great player, Shane. Yeah, seems to be playing wing back here now at the moment, even though as you just said there, Leo, positionings mean very, very little. It's just a swarm of bodies between the two 45s, but you know, the Bridge have started the better team here and seem to be more composed.
And the puck out from Barry Coote goes straight out into the hands of Pam Mulready, and Pam a shot on sight, and the score remains Sixmilebridge, Cooley 1, Ballyea yet to score, and here comes Barry Coote. Ballyea, who are the defending county champions. We said, what a game to launch our Clare GAA TV channel between the Bridge and Ballyea, two of our top teams over the last number of years. And the ball comes down to Conor Deasy. Conor Deasy, a great hand pass back there to Cayman Morey. Cayman who sits back in the pocket and sweeps the play across, looking for Cathal Malone. Cathal Malone being chased by Brian Carrick. Malone maybe could have been accused of pushing the back there, but Carrick does well. It comes to Paul Flanagan. Good to see Paul Flanagan back to Brendan O'Connell. Brendan O'Connell for Ballyea, the man who really stunted the championship last year. Best it out to Tig Lynch. Tig opens up the shoulders. The ball drops in towards Niall Deasy, and the ball goes into shot, and good safe keeping by Derek Fahey, a very underrated goalie. Derek Fahey hand passed the ball off to Cayman Morey. Cayman Morey for Sixmilebridge. As Brendan says, the Bridge open up and set up conventionally. The ball is straight down. This is a 1-on-1 down between Carrick and Cathal Malone, but Coote is quick out from the goals. And here he comes playing around with it. Not the best place to be playing around with. Gets the ball out. He's going to come out looking for Killian Brennan. Killian Brennan, better known maybe as a footballer, but a very accomplished hurler also, trying to get away from the challenge and pull back by the challenge of Shane Morey. And a free out for Ballyea. For the free was in fact committed by Brian Curry. But again, Brendan, Cusack Park in absolutely magnificent condition.
Look at it, in fairness to the ground staff here, Leo, look at it. It always is in great condition, you know, from the 1st of February, I suppose, the county final, you know, it's always in great condition. So fair play to the ground staff. Great score by Tony.
And what a chance to score by Tony Kelly, and get the running game off. The quick free pass to Tony Kelly, and when Tony, no better sight than Tony Kelly in his prime, Brendan.
Sure, look at, like, he's the best club hurler out there, is full stop, Leo. Like, you know, the performances he gave last year, you know, from the first game right until I suppose when they bowed out against Ballygunner, were just absolutely phenomenal. And you know, you won't see a better club hurler than Tony Kelly.
The short puck out from Derek Fahey goes straight out to Mark Crowe. Mark Crowe for the fist finds the pass out to Niall Deasy, and Deasy, another great club hurler, and that's put Ballyea into the lead. Ballyea 2 points, Sixmilebridge 1, 5 minutes gone. Derek Fahey, I know the Bridge tried to mix up this game with the short puck out, but you can't leave anything go a mistake with a fella like Niall Deasy around.
Exactly, yeah. Look at it, it's just a little bit of an error from Derek, unfortunately for him, but there's some serious matchups here, you know, Leo. Look at the likes of Barry Fitzpatrick on Niall Deasy on one end, and then Cathal Malone on Brian Carrick on the other end. You know, Sixmilebridge have gone with Cathal Malone inside in the full forward line, you know, and tried to isolate him. Got 3-2 as you said the last day, so that'll be an interesting battle there. And the ball is with Shane Golden. Shane Golden being chased in the middle of the field by James Murphy, and a foul by James Murphy, and a free in for Sixmilebridge, which will be taken more than likely by the free taker Alex Morey. Good to see Alex Morey back on the field of play. As we said, it's now Brian Curry taking up a position inside, and Cathal Malone out around 40 yards, and it's a free for Alex Morey. 50 yards out from the Ballyea goals, 10 yards in from the sideline here, and on the main stand here in Cusack Park. Morey, an accomplished striker. And we put the kibosh name, has gone to the right hand side and gone wide, and the score remains Ballyea in the lead by Cooley 1, Ballyea 2 points, Sixmilebridge 1 point, and a puck out coming here for the Ballyea goalie Barry Coote. We say hello to all our listeners, no matter where they're tuned in, all over the world. Fergus McMahon, Daniel Scullion, and we have also Patrick Collins tuned into us, Gareth McPhillips also. So the game goes on. The ball is going in over the top in towards Malone, who has been probably one of the players of the championship for Clare this year in the county championship, nominally in a wing back role. The ball comes out to James Murphy. James Murphy launches it straight down, looking for Niall Deasy below at full forward. Deasy puts up the hand, but the ball comes out to Brian Carey, the corner back, giving great service to the Bridge, gets it out to Cayman Morey at centre back, and the quick hand pass out to Pam Mulready, a lively player, gets away. Chris Maguire gives the advantage to Pam Mulready, and he's pulled back for the pullback. And Brendan, looking at the game, Pam Mulready, a young player into the Bridge team,
bit of pace about him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and he seems to, like as you said earlier on, Leo, positions don't make any difference really here at all. But yeah, he's one definitely for the future. Very, very pacey player, good on the ball, and looks a decent prospect.
Yeah, and a free going to be taken by Cayman Murray. Derek Fahey being told to go back into goals. Of course, Sixmilebridge managed this year by Tim Crowe and no less a coach than Davy Fitzgerald and Brendan. You know Davy Fitzgerald well. There's one thing about the Bridge, they'll be giving it all out commitment. And the ball comes into Cathal Malone. Malone gets away from the cornerback. Brian Carey gets the ball across, looking for Jamie Shannon. A lovely crisp strike from Jamie Shannon. Level pegging in Cusack Park, and good team play from the county men, Brendan.
Yeah, brilliant score, and look, it's great to see Jamie back. He's had a hard year, I suppose, with injuries and whatnot, Leo. So came on the last day, and it's great to see him make a start there and get on the scoreboard early. And
the puck out from Barry Coote, quick getting it out to Gary Brennan. Gary Brennan, the jewel star, being chased by Shane Golden down here in front of the stand side. Here comes Gary Brennan, shortens the grip, and I tell you one thing, anyone that tells you that this man can't play hurling, Brendan Buckler, that was testament to the skill that Gary Brennan has.
Super score by Gary, absolutely super score. Caught clean possession, turned no lesser man than Shane Golden and seemed to leave him for dead. And people don't realise that with Gary Brennan, when he gets on his stride, he's very, very hard to stop, and a super score by Gary.
And the puck out from Derry Fahey, he goes long out to James Murphy, the ball breaks down to Jamie Shannon, but Murphy, this man is a herman, the farmer, gets the ball out to Conor DC swings the hurley back, but here comes DC trying to take the challenge away from Murphy. Doggett gets it out to Golden, another member of the Clare Championship team they've played this year, trying to hit the ball over the top to Brian Curry gets away from Brian Casey, turns off his left hand side. A good score for Sixmilebridge. And I tell you, Brendan, at level pegging here in Cusack Park, the Bridge can mix it up when they want to, Brendan.
They can, and they seem to be working the ball to the man in the best position, and then hitting the two bays inside either side of Cathal Malone, and basically hitting space. And they are working the ball really, really well. And the puck out from Coote gets it out to Damien Burke. Damien Burke gets the ball, a shot off his left hand side, and maybe a rash shot goes out to the right hand side, and score remains as the clock ticks on, just on 9 minutes here. 3 points for Sixmilebridge and 3 points for Ballyea. As I said, Ballyea, who are the reigning county champions, took the title over from Sixmilebridge last year. Ballyea, who were defeated by Ballygunner in the Munster Club through a last minute Philip Mahoney goal down in Waterford. And the puck out, great catch by Malone, but the ball goes down. The ball breaks down to Jack Brown. Jack Brown tries to get away, but he's Malone. Malone gets the ball out, looking for Jamie Shannon, and Jamie Shannon, lovely striker is Jamie Shannon. Can he repeat the dose? Gets the ball, strikes it off under a bit of pressure, and it goes out to the left hand side and goes wide. But I tell you, with Ballyea, Brendan, they don't give you any time. They don't. No, probably the wrong shot selection from Jamie. It's right on the touch line. He should have probably brought the ball into the scoring zone. But again, the pressure that Ballyea do put on teams is phenomenal. And that's Ballyea all over for you. And the puck out from Barry Coote, trying to find it, but the ball finds only Cayman Murray. Cayman Murray gets out to DC. DC opens the shoulders and lets it in towards the full forward line, in towards Cathal Malone. The ball is brought down to Jason Knockdan. It was said Jason Knockdan gets the flick from Paul Flanagan, and a free in for Sixmilebridge, a chance to put Sixmilebridge into the lead. And a good play by Jason Knockdan. And again, Brendan, Jason Knockdan, who was a minor goalkeeper, remember also the Clare under 21 panel. He's proven out there a very accomplished outfield player. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I heard at the start of the year they were going to go with him for an outfield position, because I suppose Derek was probably nailed on for positioning goals. But he was onto the break really, really well there, and he's a young player. And look, if you go down through the Bridge team, they're in a period of transition, Leo. And they need the players like the likes of Jason Knockdan to step up, and he's started well here. Yeah, and the Bridge go into the lead. 4 points for the lads from Brihadon-Garney, 3 points for the lads from Ballyea, and the puck out coming from Barry Coote. Barry Coote leaves it down, looking down there for Tony Kelly. The ball is beaten away by Evan McInerney. Evan McInerney gets the ball, comes out to Noel Purcell. The Purcell, a good cornerback, this fella, very, very underrated. Gets the ball out to Shayna Murray, and here comes Shayna, a chance to stretch the legs, being chased by Killian Brennan, and a free given against Shayna Murray on that occasion. Killian Brennan stuck to his desk, and maybe Shayna might feel maybe a small bit aggrieved there, Brendan. I think so. I think Killian Brennan was holding the arm just a small bit, and I think he seemed to have bought the free there. But to me, I could have gone either way, Leo, being honest with you. To me, it probably was a free for Sixmilebridge, being honest. But I'm just looking out here and I'm seeing Evan Mack, and he's given one job today, and his job is basically to man mark Tony Kelly. And everywhere he goes, every blade of grass he's going to touch, he's going to be right beside him for the day. Indeed, Evan McInerney is going to clock up a lot of mileage here in Cusack Park today. It's free for Niall DC and Ballyea, just outside his own 70-yard line, and DC strikes this one. Doesn't strike it accurately, goes out to the right hand side and goes wide, and maybe. But as we said, Brendan, Bridge and Ballyea, many would say this is probably maybe is good enough to be a county final.
Do you see the teams going gung-ho to win this, even though there's the comfort zone of a place, the loser doesn't lose their place in the championship?
100%, Leo. Of course they're going to win it. I suppose from every win you get, you gain momentum. But look, you don't know who you're going to meet, so you can only play the team that's in front of you in this championship. And that's the thing with the Clare Championship. It's literally cutthroat. You don't get too many opportunities. So no doubt about it that both these teams are going for the win here and get into the quarter-final as soon as possible.
Yeah, and the puck out from Derek Fahey went straight down the field and was finished with a plum out to Cathal Malone and a hand pass to Alex Morey over the bar, the bridge 5 points, and a push in the back there on Niall Deasy by the fullback Barry Fitzpatrick. So 5 points to 3 in favour of Sixmilebridge as the clock ticks on to just over 12 and a half minutes. Chris Maguire from Shannon is the man in the middle, and a free for Niall Deasy, 60 yards from the Sixmilebridge goals. The sun making an appearance here in Cusack Park into the eyes of Derek Fahey. As we said, Derek Fahey men in the goals at the LD side of the field, and as we said, positions don't mean a whole lot here. And here's Niall Deasy, a man that didn't see much championship action, maybe surprisingly for Clare during the summer, but Deasy, he struck the last one wide. There was definitely going to be no mistake with this one. It cuts the deficit to 5 points for Sixmilebridge, 4 points for Ballyea, and now at this stage, Brendan, I see Tony Kelly kind of moving interest in the forward position.
Yeah, I suppose he's just moving around to try to get into the game a little bit more, and I suppose Ballyea, if Ballyea are to progress, they'll need Tony in the game that little bit more. But I'm sure everyone's going to follow him, and he has actually followed him to centre back.
Yeah, and the ball breaks out to Jack Brown. Good play by Jack Brown, a very highly rated cornerback, one of the best defenders in the country, being held up there by Cathal Malone, and a free for Niall Deasy as Deasy comes into his own 10 yards inside his own 70-yard line or 65-metre line here, and a free for Sixmilebridge. As I said, is this going to level the game here? Sixmilebridge 5 points, Ballyea 4. This one he meets this one, lifts it up into the air, lets the breeze take it. We have Legel Pegel, Brendan Brogan, great score.
Yeah, great score by DC, and I suppose that's you're nearly guaranteed any place ball that Ballyea get that he'll throw it over the bar. And it's actually a difficult enough day down there for free takers with the wind. It's not directly blowing down towards the bottom end, and it's a great free by Niall.
Yeah, and the puck out from Derek Fahey, launches down his own head. Alex Morey, great catch by Alex Morey, releases the ball out to Shane Morey. Shane Morey is going to open up the play, switch the ball across, but there's no bridge player. All the bridge players have come out the field, and it's going to be left to Barry Coote, the Ballyea goalkeeper. Man well known for his greyhounds as well up there in Ballyea, and the ball goes straight down over the head of Noel Purcell, looking for Damien Burke, but the ball is blocked down to Cayman Morey. Cayman Morey gives it out to Jamie Shanahan. Jamie Shanahan sprays the ball out the corner. What a pass from Jamie Shanahan out towards Alex Morey, but Brendan O'Connell, a very fit wing back, gets back playing centre back, gets the ball out to Jack Brown. Jack Brown is going to open the shoulder, that's the ball across. What a pass, looking for Tyg Lynch, but the ball is going to be cut out by Pam Mulready for Sixmilebridge. Comes back in, trying to take on Niall Deasy, trying to get away from Martin O'Leary. This man has a bit of pace. Mulready going up along the wing, cutting in into the Ballyea half of the field, gets a costly ball across, looking for the stick of Cathal Malone. Brian Carrick tries to get out in front of Malone tries to get over the ball. Malone does get over the ball. The bridge has converted him, looking to support him. He's trying to break through, gets the hand pass off out towards Jason Knocknain gets the ball out, gets it out to Mulready, the man who started the attack, and Mulready strikes off with his right hand side, and it's gone to the right hand side and gone wide. The bridge playing through the lines, Brendan, passing the ball around, trying to get the man to in the best shooting position, but they're being forced to shoot from far out by Ballyea.
They are, and I suppose it's very Sixmilebridge like, from the Sixmilebridge team we've seen down to the, especially the last 3 or 4 years. But a little bit more composure, I suppose, from Pa. He'd done everything so well there in that particular last play. A little bit more composure, and there he got the score. And
the ball, a high ball in towards the Sixmilebridge goals. Gary Brennan now taken up full forward, and he blocks down Derek Fahey. But here comes Fahey, nothing better than a goalie coming out the field. Gets it out to Shane Gold and overheat the pass. Ball comes out to Martin O'Leary, the footballer who plays with Camille. And here comes Tony Kelly, and Tony Kelly, no mistake, over the bar. I tell you just can't give him a sniff, Brendan.
Can't give him a sniff and all, Leo, no. And I suppose, every single one of those Ballyea players are told, if you win possession, you see Tony running, you just give him the ball, and they've been doing it for the last number of years.
Ballyea go into the lead, 6 points to 5. A puck out coming from Derek Fahey. Here comes Derek. He's going to go straight down the middle. Goes long, looking for Alex Morey and Cathal Malone. Brian Curry going up for the ball, but the ball comes to Brendan O'Connell. But it comes out now to Brian Curry. Curry for the bridge, and he's going to try to open up the play. Gets the ball across, but it's hit across, and it comes to Malone. Malone working on his own up there. He's been chased by 5 Ballyea fellas and being fouled by Brendan O'Connell. And in fairness, Brendan, he bought the foul well on that occasion.
He definitely did, Leo. He definitely did. And I suppose, he had no other option. Like I was just saying to myself, if the Sixmilebridge are going to play the way they're playing, they'll need definitely one inside, and in that particular play they'd no one inside, but the ball went, and there was about 5 Ballyea boys back, but Cahill won it, and in fairness he went straight for him and won the free well.
Okay, and here comes Alex Murray with the free over the bar, straight over the bar. That puts Sixmilebridge into the lead. 6 points. It's level pecking. 6 points for Ballyea, 6 points for Sixmilebridge. And the puck out coming from Barry Coote. Coote pucks out the ball now for Ballyea. Gets the ball down, looking towards Niall DC. DC brings the ball, great control from DC, trying to get away from Barry Fitzpatrick. Strikes it off his right hand side. Okay, but Barry Fitzpatrick kept him out towards the sideline and goes to the right hand side and gone wide. The clock ticks on 18 minutes, 17 and a half minutes gone here in a splendid Saturday evening here in Cusack Park. Derek Fahey with the puck out for Sixmilebridge. Goes long, gets great link straight down the middle. Jack Brown going to go up. Jack Brown puts up the hand, but the ball breaks down and comes out to Gary Brennan, and a flick by Jason Loughnane. And Brendan, Ballyea beginning to take over.
They are just slightly, I suppose, Leo, and whatever breeze that is there, Ballyea seem to have it, but it's I suppose from a tactical point of view it's an extraordinary game how you've nearly every single player bar 2 in the full back line in either side and 2 obviously in the full forward line. Every other player is between the 2 45s, and it's just literally a pure battle zone out there at the moment, and eventually, Leo, it's going to come down to who wins those breaks and who wants it more. Yeah,
and a free from DC inside his own half, strikes this one with a plum. Straight over, gone to the right hand side and gone wide. In fact, DC not having the best of an evening. The score remains the fellas from Ballyea 6 points. I was in the Buckley yesterday on the Garlic, 6 points also. The puck out from Fahey, looking for Malone and Brandon O'Connell having a tremendous battle over the far side. The ball goes off the stick off Cahill Malone out over the sideline. Line ball for Ballyea. And looks like, is it Tony Kelly? Yes, Tony Kelly going taking this one. Evan McInerney, as Brendan says, covering a lot of miles, following Tony Kelly wherever he goes. But Kelly has still tapped over 2 good points for the lads from Ballyea. Here comes Tony Kelly. As we said, a lot of traffic out around the middle of the field, not too many close to the goals, and Kelly cuts this one across, looking for Killian Brennan, and the ball goes out over the head of Killian Brennan and Shane Amori, and here comes Cayman Amori with all the time of day as he comes up along in front of the stand side, going to strike it off his left hand side. Nearly got caught for overcarrying, but the ball comes across and it comes out to Gary Brennan. Gary, who got a tremendous point earlier on, being chased up there, being marked up by Jamie Shanahan, gets the ball out to Mark Crowe. Crowe strikes off his right hand side. This one is going to go in towards DC or Damien Burke, and the ball goes to the left hand side and gone wide. And I suppose anyway, Ballyea, Brendan, guilty of a few bad wides.
Yeah. Look at Mark Crowe there, poor wide. Probably should have let the ball into the boys, Niall DC inside, and Niall was guilty himself of 2 before that. So it's very unlike Ballyea. Usually they're a lot more clinical than they are. Yeah,
indeed. Here comes Derek Fahey. Has gone long without. Since he made that sharp puck out, he's gone long with them all. The ball goes out to Jamie Shanahan. Shanahan puts up the hand, but the ball comes out to Jack Brown. Jack Brown swinging, and the ball comes out to Shane Amori. Shane Amori with his dancing feet gets the ball across out to Conor DC. DC tries to get across the middle, across to Shane Golden. Bridge trying to open up Ballyea, gone down along into the corner. Great ball from Golden out towards Cahill Malone. Cahill Malone being chased by as always Brendan O'Connell, and again it goes off the stick of Cahill Malone, even though Cahill Malone maybe feels a bit of good grief, and now he hits the ball away, so a bit of dissent. But I think Cahill was rather indignant that the line ball was his, Brendan.
Yeah, he was fairly sure it was, and I suppose it's unlike Cahill to react to a situation like that unless he knows he's right, so it probably was a Sixmilebridge ball.
Brendan, what a championship Cahill Malone had for Clare in the Munster Championship this year. Probably our standout player. Doesn't really get the credit he deserves.
No, Leo, no. And I suppose in what was a poor enough year for Clare, he was definitely the standout player that we had in the championship. And even in those bad defeats to Tipperary here and Limerick in the Gaelic grounds, I suppose he was the player that really stood out from a Clare point of view. He seems to nail down the wing back jersey for next year anyway, for the start of the year anyway. So in fairness to Cahill, he had a great year and great attitude, and I was delighted for him. He puts an awful lot into it.
Yeah, and the free from Jack Brown drops down on the just outside the D, and the ball comes out to Niall DC. Niall DC out in front of Noel Purcell on this occasion. DC bearing down a goal, trying to come in, being blocked down by Barry Fitzpatrick. DC throws up the ball. Purcell tries to get it there. Shane Golden working hard in the middle of the field for the bridge, and a high challenge here by Tyke Lynch, and I'd safely say he could be giving his autograph to Chris Maguire on this occasion, Brendan.
I think so, and he was guilty of a rash challenge there about 10 minutes ago as well. So Tyke's definitely going into the book for this one.
Yeah, and Chris Maguire taking the name of Tyke Lynch. Tyke, a diminutive figure there there for Ballyea. I suppose it was the old adage, thou shalt not pass. The score line, it's Ballyea 6 points, Sixmilebridge 6 points, 21 minutes and a half minutes gone here in Cusack Park on our inaugural day for Clare GAA TV, and a great initiative by the Clare County Board. And where anyone that's tuned in on the YouTube channel, anyone that has comments can post them up on the YouTube channel. We'd be glad to hear what you think of our fair here from Páirc Uí Chaoimh. And Derek Fahey, trying to, like any good goalie, trying to gain a few yards, now just takes it outside the 21. The Bridge coach is now down on the sideline issuing instructions, none other than Davy Fitzgerald. Davy, who was also manager of Wexford, who unfortunately came very close to appearing in an All-Ireland senior final, but a great catch by Kelly. And here comes Kelly, off he goes. Nothing better than watching it's like watching Port in motion, and the ball comes back from Kelly, from Gary Brennan, and a high challenge there, I think, by Shane Golan, and rightly so. The free going to be a free in for Niall DC and Ballyea. And once again, Brendan, you could see Gary Brennan just popping the pass off to Tony Kelly.
Exactly, and you know, they've been doing it for the last couple of years, and you'd often wonder, imagine if we had Gary playing with the Clare senior hurlers, how often you probably see the same sort of situation happen, you know. They have this, I suppose, telepathic relationship between the two of them, and you know, Tony knows that anytime Gary gets the ball, he will try to look for him first and foremost before he probably strikes it in himself. But you know, great player by Ballyea, and a free well won.
Yeah, and a free nail by Niall Deasy to put Ballyea into the lead. It's Ballyea 7 points, Sixmilebridge side 6 points. Kevin Sheehan, who took over the Ballyea manager, very happy with his charges there. I see Davy Fitzgerald now men on the sideline, and Saoirse Bulfin. We have a kind of a Wexford feel maybe to the Bridge set up as they're running on the line. Saoirse is the runner. He is well known to all hurling follows. The ball out to Conor Deasy lets fly, comes out to Jamie Shanahan. Jamie trying to get away, gets in a high challenge there, soft enough free there, given away by Tony Kelly. I think Tony kind of knew, but soft enough free, a chance for Sixmilebridge to eat into the 1 point lead. But Brendan, a quick look ahead to tomorrow, and Wexford and Davy Fitz very unlucky. They came very, very close.
Very, very close, Leo. Yeah, and you'd be thinking if John McGrath was actually set on the field, would Wexford be in an All-Ireland final? I thought they played absolutely fantastic. Bar the last 15 minutes, they were a credit to their county, and you know what, the innovation that they showed in the style of hurling that they brought to the game was just a joy to behold, and came so close to being in the cider tomorrow. But they'll regroup and they'll be back again next year, I've no doubt. Yeah,
and indeed, as we speak about Wexford, Alex Morey puts the ball over the bar from dead free. Level picking here, scores. The lead doesn't last long here. The puck out there from Barry Cool goes long, going down. So it's Cayman Morey, who a member of the Clare 21, who was an All-Ireland mid Clare, gets the ball being fouled, being held up there by Gary Brennan. A free out going to be taken by the same set then, Cayman Morey. We're clocking down now on just in 24 and a half minutes here. And it came a Morey 50 yards out from his own goal, right over in front of the stand up. He's going leaving it to the long puck expert Derek Fahey. Derek, also a very accomplished soccer player. Derek Fahey comes out to take this one. And once again, Brendan, you can see the setup. There's only one inside in the square, very few men in the Bridge, Sixmilebridge half of the field.
Very few men, and it's very, very surprising, I suppose, from a Ballyea point of view. But look at it, it's just the way the game has gone, Leo. We're seeing that more and more. We're seeing it in county teams, and now we're seeing it in club teams.
And the puck out comes out to James Murphy. A very tough wing back, this man, trying to come away, maybe being fouled by Conor Deasy, but gets the ball back to the corner back is Brian Casey, but he gives it up to the sweeper and Cayman Morey. Cayman, who's all the time of day as he comes up in front of the stand. Well, I tell you, he takes it to the letter of the law, and he has two Ballyea lads coming for the ball, and one of them is Brian Carrick, an accomplished cornerback. Coolness personified as he hits the ball across, looking for Damien Burke, who's good to see Damien Burke back hurling for Ballyea again this year. The run from Tyglin, she gets going to get the ball back to Brandon O'Connell. O'Connell opens up the shoulders, a shot from Brandon O'Connell, and the straight over the bar. I tell you, Ballyea, they can play around the ball as well, Brendan, but I tell you, O'Connell, a very underrated hurler and one to watch for the future.
Oh, most definitely, Leo, yeah, and I suppose he did an exceptional second half last year in the county final, and again he topped that off with a great score last year in that county final, and he's got a good one here again today. But yeah, the O'Connell name is a great hurling name in Ballyea, and he's following the tradition there.
Indeed, and the puck out comes from Derek Fahey. He's Ballyea in the lead by Coolina 1. Cathal Malone gets across, feed the ball across, looking for Alex Morey. Alex Morey comes out to AJD and hand pass the ball out to Conor Deasy. Conor Deasy 40 yards out. Conor Deasy takes away the challenge from Brian Carrick, gets it back to Alex Morey, and Morey, good play from Sixmilebridge, and that's Davy Fitzgerald and his coach on the sideline, and Tim Crow. They'll be very happy with that one. That was typical Sixmilebridge play, Brendan.
Yeah, look at what ball came into Alex, give a little pop pass out to DC, the shot wasn't on, pop pass back to Alex, and a great finish.
Yeah, and the score 8 points all as we come here. Puck out from Barry Coote, gets out to Cayman Morey. Cayman playing very well at centre back, gets the ball over the top to Alex Morey. He's going to take on Brian Carrick. Gets the ball out to Brian Curry, and Brian Curry being pulled back by Jack Brown. Jack is always pleading his innocence. Jack is never too far away from controversy, but bleeding his innocence, and indeed he's going to get his name in the book. But Brendan, handy enough free, and Bridge, you can see what they're trying to do, trying to get the ball in and then try to take on the backs.
Yeah, they're trying to isolate a one-on-one inside there and hit the perfect ball in. And I suppose if Alex had actually taken on the ball a little bit more rather than trying to give the pop pass to Brian, he could have been in for a goal. But I suppose from a Sixmilebridge point of view, they want to get the likes of Brian Curry and Cahill and Alex on the ball as much as they possibly can. Unfortunately for Brian, I'd say it's only his second touch in the game, so they're going to need a lot more from him in the second half.
Yeah, and a good free from Alex Morey over the bar. Sixmilebridge 9 points, Ballyea 8 points. As we clicked on 27 minutes, they puck out from Barry Coote, gets it out towards Tig Lynch. Good catch from Lynch, tries to get away from not an easy time, being chased by Cahill Malone now around the middle of the field, and the ball comes out. Is it O'Leary? Martin O'Leary. Here comes Martin O'Leary. A shot off his left hand side, goes out the right hand side and gone wide, but I tell you, the Sixmilebridge that's not given any time to Martin O'Leary. Martin, who's also, we're going to have an award. I see Chris McGuire going to have an award. This is with Jamie Shanahan here. Maybe just explaining a few decisions to him, and the buck out coming from Derek Fahey as we clock in now on 28 minutes gone here in the first half on our inaugural game here on ClareGAATV. And here comes Derek Fahey with the puck out, goes low with this one, trying to find Jamie Shanahan. Great puck out to Jamie Shanahan moving maybe a bit freer, getting a bit of game time out to Cayman Morey kicks the ball across looking for Shane Golden, but Gary Brennan comes out to Brian Curry trying to take on Brian Casey. Curry going to strike it off his left hand side, and yes, it's over the bar. That's in fairness once again the Bridge showing some great movements, walking the ball through the lines, Brendan.
Yeah, super score. And I just said there 2 minutes ago about Brian. Bridge will be hoping to get Brian on the ball an awful lot more, because that's the threat he brings. When he gets the ball and turns, he's a great eye for goal and a great point.
Yeah, and the Bridge going to the lead by 2 points. It's 10 points for Sixmilebridge. It's 8 points for Ballyea, and Owen Donlan arriving on the scene for Ballyea. And it's Tig Lynch who's departing the scene. I suppose maybe Ballyea worried that maybe Tig Lynch, who has picked up a court of way earlier on, and Donlan taking up a position on Cayman Morey and trying to curb Cayman Morey's influence on the game. And the puck out, ball goes out towards Tony Kelly, blocked down by Evan McInerney. Evan McInerney gets away to Conor Deasy, and James Murphy being pulled back for a foul and Conor Deasy. And in fairness to Evan McInerney, Brendan, he's doing a good enough marking job on Tony Kelly.
Yeah, look at I suppose he's doing as good as any club hurler has done on Tony over the last couple of years, so he's sticking to his job. Tony has still chipped in with 2 points and he's won a free or two, but he can be happy with his first half display most definitely. But just come back to that substitution, Leo. It's a very unusual substitution to take off Tig Lynch. It must be because of the fact that he's on a yellow card, and there might be, I suppose Tig is the player that plays on, he's a player that does play on the edge, but it's an unusual enough substitution.
And the ball is down, the puck out, the free goes down the corner, goes out to Golden strikes off his left hand side, and a shot from Shane Golden, it's gone out to the left hand side and gone wide. And we're coming now to just on 29.5 minutes. Barry Coote with a quick puck out, gone looking for DC puts up his hand, but the ball breaks out to Purcell. Does a bit of business about Sixmilebridge as a purpose as he gives it to Jamie Shanahan running off the shoulder, and that's a tremendous score. And I think that with the point that will please Davy Fitz the most, and Tim Crowe, Brendan, the running off the shoulder at Ballyea, and to the right man, give it to the right man, Jamie Shanahan over the bar.
Yeah, great score, and Noel did very, very well in attacking the ball. Puck out probably didn't go to the man that it should have gone to, but to see Jamie Shanahan in the shape he's in, in only his second game all year is just, it's a credit to the man himself, and he's had to put in a really good first half.
And the puck out comes from Barry Coote out to Mark Crowe for Ballyea, coming back towards his own half of the field, gives it out to Jack Brown going back, turning back into his own half, trying to find Tony Kelly. Tony Kelly gets away from Evan McInerney, and I suppose you can only keep Kelly quiet for so much. A shot from Tony Kelly straight over the bar, I suppose. Who should we doubt? Tony Kelly watching jumper to put up the flag. We only speak about him how quiet he is, and up he pops straight over the bar.
Super score again from Tony. You could see when Jack got the ball straight away, Leo, he was turning around, but he straight away was looking, where's Tony Kelly, and he's seen he had drifted into a bit of space, but Tony still had to win the ball, he had to catch it, and got a nice clatter on the back as well from Evan for his troubles, but great finish by Tony.
And the puck out from Derek Fahey is going by call a halt by Chris McGuire, and the Bridge go into the half time here in this our first game here on ClareGAATV. And now we're going to go over we also have to say Morris Ryan has been listening to us. Mark Carrick, great to watch these games, he's listening to us. So anyone that's listening to us, anyone that has comments for YouTube, you might send them on to us. Brendan, before we go to our interview, the pre-game interviews with both managers Tim Crowe and Kevin Sheehan. Davy Fitz and Tim Crowe will be quite happy going in 2 points up at half time.
Definitely, and they've made a real battle of it between the two 45s, by bringing out their, two of their full forward line, trying to isolate 1-on-1 inside, and they're doing really well. They're working. It's a different style of hurling, I suppose, that we've seen from the Bridge from the last couple of years. They seem to be working the ball through the lines an awful lot more than they have to, and than they have done, and trying to pick out the guy in the best position, and they can be really happy with their performance.
So at half time it's Sixmilebridge in the lead by 2 points. It's 11 points to 9, and now we're going to show you those interviews, pre-game interviews of both managers, Tim Crowe for Sixmilebridge and Kevin Sheehan of Ballyea.
Joined here by Sixmilebridge manager Tim Crowe ahead of a crunch clash with Ballyea in the Clare Hurling Championship. Tim, quarter-final place up for grabs. You're obviously going all out for that.
Yeah, it's a huge game. It's going to tell us where we are. We're not sure, but we'll definitely know by 7 o'clock tonight where we stand.
First round win over ClareGAA. Was it a difficult game to read in that you were comfortable enough winners and probably weren't really tested other than those first 10?
It was, I suppose. We got the breaks, we got the goals at the right time, and I think that changed the game, and ClareGAA then never got back into it. So again, I think it was just a bad day at the office for ClareGAA.
Everybody was billing this as the clash of champions, the last two winners of the Canon Hamilton. All that feeding into what should be a great occasion.
It is, I know Ballyea are going for 3 out of 4, and that's a fantastic achievement. But it's always difficult to defend your title, as most clubs find and most counties find. And we're optimistic that we'll test them today.
And I guess a win not only puts you in the quarter-finals, but I guess gives you that month for break as well. So if you have any fellas with niggles and things like that can get cleared up.
It's a huge reward for winning today, and it gives that extra month where you can prepare with no obstructions of another championship match to be played. So it's a huge prize. It's a fantastic system here in Clare.
And just very finally, in terms of the challenge you'll face, I know you've spoken that maybe those dual clubs, you feel that running game that they've developed has probably put them a little bit ahead. You've obviously been working to counteract that. Yeah,
and I think that's why the month is going to be very important. If we do get over it, it will give us that month to catch up. But I do feel that the dual type clubs have a huge advantage over the traditional clubs in Clare at the moment. But that will change with time, and that's why today's victory could be vital to us to survive.
Good stuff, Tim. Thanks very much and the best of luck.
Thanks, Derek.
Kevin Sheehan, Ballyea manager, big game coming up against Sixmilebridge here in Cusack Park in just under an hour's time. How are you feeling ahead of it?
Yeah, look, it's a little bit nervous now as those kind of nerves sink in, and but we're really looking forward to starting.
A big win, obviously, the last day to get you going. One went all the way as well. Have you taken good momentum from that?
Yeah, look, I'd hope so, and look at it. It kind of reverberated into team selection today. Things just weren't right there from the 35-40 minutes. But look, we watched it back twice, and kind of at the kind of 45th minute on, we seemed to take over and work like we know we're capable of, and then just got the scoreboard moving.
I suppose it's that thing that has worked so well for Ballyea in recent times, the likes of Gary and DC and these fellas, and Tony obviously stepping up, and other fellas just working hard as they can.
Yeah, look at it, and there was different things that had to be done. Gary went back to the half-back line when Brandon had given everything. Jack Brown started sweeping up well there in the last 10 minutes, and it was kind of a collective effort to just work with Paul Flanagan there as well. But definitely you named the three: Gary, Tony and DC took over that game.
Obviously it's Sixmilebridge, they won the Canon most recent 2 years well. That battle of champions, have you spoken about that?
Look, not particularly, no. We've spoken an awful lot about Sixmilebridge, no, but look, we are aware, teams that find ways to win are the most difficult to beat, and they've done that over this decade over and over and over again. So look, we've a lot of things to get right, but at the same time it's going to be 15-15 and the best team are going to win.
Just very finally, with the football side of the house in the back of the head as well, I mean, getting that 4-week break, it can just help maybe to put things into the calendar a little easier.
Yeah, look, I suppose in one way though, with ClareGAAT having the bye the next day, we have a little bit of a leeway. We'd be more looking at a couple of teams are after winning this weekend, coming back into it, and a few teams will lose this weekend. It's going to be a minefield in that third round, and that's the goal, just not to be in that minefield.
Kevin, thanks for joining us. Best of luck.
Thanks, Dar.
Yeah, got it now. Now, welcome back to Cusack Park here. Half-time in the Clare Senior Hurling Championship. Sixmilebridge, 11 points. Ballyea 9, a game in which they've been levelled 7 times so far in the opening half. The Bridge with a 2-point lead at the break. Seamus Hayes is a man that's covered plenty Clare Senior Hurling Championship games. Fair to say, Seamus, this one between two champions, is it one that's yet to really spark?
Yeah, correct, Eric. It's a disappointing contest, I suppose, from the spectator's point of view. It seems to be lacking a bit of bite, which is maybe not too surprising given that they're both already safely into the next round. But I would have thought that Ballyea in particular would be putting all out to win, to get the 4-week break, given that so many of them are playing football with ClareGAAT. Maybe they'll come out in the second half and lift the game a bit, but it has yet to spark, as you say.
The Bridge probably just marginally deserving that 2-point lead.
Yeah, that's right. They're picking up the breaks around midfield and around the half-back line, and the harder seems to be playing into Alex Morey inside or Conor Malone if possible. But Alex Morey, I think, there's 5 points he scored at this stage, and the two full forwards really are the scorers in chief, mainly from frees. So hopefully that will lift a bit in the second half, and that Ballyea will come a bit more into it. Like Tony Kelly has yet to sparkle. He's got 3 fantastic points, but the ball doesn't seem to be coming his way as often as he would like.
Is that because of the matchups of the Bridge? I mean, obviously Davy Fitzgerald is going to have studied this religiously for the last couple of weeks. So is it fair to say he's got his matchups right so far, even with the man on Gary?
Yeah, I would say that to a certain extent, and I'd safely say that every time there's a puck out, Davies a left he's signalling ball to go particular angles in the field, I suppose, keep it away from the likes of Tony, because the few times that it came down the middle, Tony just signalled and ran on to a good pass and got a couple of great points. But a lot is coming down to the goalies and where they're pucking the ball to, as seems to be the case in the modern game as well.
Yeah, we can feel the breeze down here right on the sideline, just at the entrance to the tunnel. We saw in the first game Fecal and Crasheen, I mean, Everquiddigan's puck outs were landing below in the square.
In the second half, and they seem to have maybe the more experienced players, the tail end of the apart from the county players, maybe a few of the Ballyea fellas are struggling a bit to get up to the pace of the game, and that'll be key in the second half, whether they can get the game or not. And you could see a few changes. The Bridge are likely to maybe move Cathal Malone, tell him stay inside now, and float the ball in as quickly as they can to himself and Alex Morey.
Is the two teams trying to play the same game, that off the shoulder kind of? We've seen it so many times. We'll take Tony Kelly's second last point there, where Martin O'Leary looked for him to come off the shoulder, and then he looked down here, I think was a Brian Curry's point where he came off the shoulder, and Jamie Shanahan's as well. So almost cancelling each other out style-wise. Yeah,
I'd say there's a certain amount of that, and also there's a certain amount of sussing each other out, because I'd say most spectators would say that the two of these will have a big say in where the title is going to rest at the end of the campaign, and if the draw works out okay, it's quite possible that they could meet back in the semi-final or final. So I'd say from that point of view, each one is trying to find out a little bit more about the other if that day comes about this year.
Yeah, and I suppose just in terms of that championship bite, then we would expect it to arrive in the second half, because if you think that if I'm Shane Golden and I think I'm going to be up against Gary Brennan again, you kind of want to lay down a bit of a marker, don't you?
Correct. You want to show who's boss today, and you want to kind of have the other fellow thinking how's he going to get around you the next day. So I expect that there will be a lift in the tempo of the game in the second half, and I expect that Ballyea will maybe come looking for to try and stamp their authority in the game, because the break would be important for them, given that so many of them, as I said earlier, will be playing with ClareGAAT, who have a very big game coming up in a couple of weeks' time. Against Aerogue, if they have to stay in the football title race.
Yeah, we also saw Gary Brennan that is spend maybe 5-6 minutes in the edge of the square. Is that an against the breeze option, do you think, for Ballyea?
Yeah, it could well be for a few minutes, but they may have to bring him out to try and win possession out around the middle as well, because as you say, the breeze will play a big part in it. The puck outs from Ballyea now won't be going as long, so they will need some of the big men around the centre of the field to try and win possession.
And just from a Sixmilebridge perspective, great to see Jamie Shanahan back. I mean, any Clare hurling fan wants to see him back, but he's looking in great shape, looking very, very sharp.
He's looking exceptionally sharp. He's a couple of very good points got, and he set up 1 or 2 more. And he's a fella that was a big loss to Clare hurling this year. So hopefully, that his injury worries are over him, and that he will go on to be injury free and play a big part both for the Bridge and for Ballyea, and for Clare. Sorry.
Yeah, we saw just finally Crusheen here in the first game kept Fecal to a 62nd minute point in the second half. The Bridge had the breeze. We probably don't expect them to keep Ballyea scoreless, but is 2 points enough of a half time to build on now with the breeze at their back?
Well, you'd be inclined to say that it might. I still think it's going to be very close. There's only going to be a couple of points between them come the final whistle. At the end of the day, the edge would seem to be with the Bridge at this stage, but I never rule out Ballyea. They've shown the last couple of years what they're capable of, and Tony Kelly, one spat from Tony, he can turn the game.
We've also if you look at the front of the programme, we can tell people it says that there could be penalties if it goes all the way. We almost had that against Clooney Quinn. Could we rule that out?
No, we can't rule out that. Extra time, and if they're still level to be a penalty shootout, there has to be a result because of the tight time frame. So.
Absolutely. Sixmilebridge are out of the tunnel. Ballyea have just come out as well. We'll go back to the commentary box. I think up there we've got Brendan Bogdan, we've got Leo Doyle standing by. Second half to come.
Thanks, Rick. Okay.
Indeed, you're welcome back here to the start of the second half here in Cusack Park, and thanks to Derek for his interviews at half time. Apologies for the interference, technical difficulties. The ball is out with Conor Deasy. Sixmilebridge now playing into the LD goals. Conor Deasy coming down for Sixmilebridge, gets the ball out to Pam Mulready. Very impressed with Pam Mulready. Pam Mulready bearing down a goal. A shot, what a start for Bridge at the start of the second half. Brendan, I tell you, Pam Mulready, this is a player to watch out for.
He's a player with serious pace, Leo, and a super ball from DC, across, gathered it, first time straight through, but he's playing really well, and I was surprised enough to see Kevin Lynch not start, but I suppose that's the reason really.
Yeah, and the puck out comes from very cool out to Jason Lucknan. Jason Lucknan takes the ball into the tackle of James Murphy, and it goes out over the line. Sixmilebridge 1 goal and 11. Ballyea 9 points. This is really going to ask questions of Ballyea, and as Seamus Hayes said at half time there, is the intensity really in Ballyea as they have a big upcoming football game with their sister club Clondigad in a number of weeks' time to keep themselves in the championship. The line ball from Tony Kelly goes short, looking for Martin O'Leary. Martin O'Leary tries to give it back to Tony Kelly, but Tony Kelly is intercepted by Cayman Morey, and a bit of afters there with Tony Kelly and Cayman Morey, and I think Tony could get his name in the book, Brendan.
I think it was accidental though, Leo. Cayman, who's playing a great game now, got the ball, was fouled on the way out, and I suppose Tony's momentum just kind of took him into the back of him, but he's after picking up a yellow there, so Tony would want to watch it. Yeah,
early in the second half to be picking up a yellow, and a free going to be taken for Sixmilebridge. Right in the outside for Alex Morey comes back 10 yards inside, 20 being put back by linesman Jerry, now making it 20 yards inside his own 165 metre line. Alex Morey, an accomplished free taker, very good underage hurler for Clare. Here comes Alex Morey, good to see him back in the field of play. Morey drives this one down, as we said, dropping down back, good safe hand I put the kibosh in Barry Coote, good safe hands by Barry Coote, who recovered well, and he's fouled by Brian Curry. But I tell you, Brendan, looking at Sixmilebridge, they're very, very business-like.
They're very business-like, yeah, and look, they're playing to a plan, and it's working for them, and as I said at half-time, they could have been very, very proud of their performance in the first half, and I'm sure Fitzy and Tim Crowe would have told them at half-time, make sure we get the first score to start the second half, and what did they do? They got a goal, so, they've opened up a 5-point, gap, and in a game like this where it's so tight, 5 points is a big score.
Yeah, and a free given again for Tony Kelly. Niall Deasy coming out from his full forward position. Niall, who's gone back in on the edge of the square, a free 70 yards out, as we said, down on Derek Fahey. Derek Fahey defending the goals at the town end here in Cusack Park here, or an inaugural game here on Clare GAA TV, a massive initiative by the Clare County Board, and we wish him well in the future on this initiative. Niall Deasy coming to take this one, as we said, just inside the Sixmilebridge 65 metre line. Niall, accomplished free taker, strikes this one, gets it in, and it's out, and it's gone to the left hand side and gone wide, and Niall Deasy not in full tune this evening, Brendan.
Yeah, it's very unusual to see Niall miss frees like that, and look at, I suppose from a Ballyea point of view, last year in the county final they seen themselves, they were 7 points down, into the second half as well, but when they got the opportunities to score frees like that, Niall Deasy was nailing them, and unfortunately today for Niall he's not.
And a shot there from Jamie Shannon goes to the left hand side and gone wide. Here comes Barry Coote for Ballyea. As we said, a man very, very interested in the doggy game as well. Pucks this ball out, looking out for Gary Brennan. Gary, who has been well marked there by Shane Golden. Shane Golden gets the way out to Jason Loughnane. Loughnane drives this one in, and that's probably a massive score right in front. The coach will be very happy with that one right in front of him. Jason Loughnane, Brendan.
Huge score, but it was made by Shane Golden too, and Ballyea had a puck out down on top of Gary, and Shane Golden is put obviously the man marking job on Gary, broke the ball to the ground. Jason picked it up in a super score.
Yeah, and the puck out from Barry Coote goes out to James Murphy. Murphy getting the ball out to Kelly. Kelly being followed all over the place by Evan McInerney, now being followed by Pam Mulready. Kelly turns off his right hand side, a shot from Tony Kelly, and yes, over the bar, good point. That's Tony Kelly's 4 point, even though Tony Kelly is having one of his quieter games. 4 points for him, 1 goal and 12 for Sixmilebridge. Ballyea 10 points as darkness begins to descend here in Cusack Park. As the boys said at half time, extra time and penalties could accrue here later on. The Bridge and will not want that. The puck out from He goes long and direct, and the ball comes out to Brian Carey. Brian Carey gets it out to Flanagan. Flanagan pops the pass off to Brandon O'Connell. Brandon O'Connell strikes off his left hand side, gets it up to Killian Brennan. All the passes are sticking now for Ballyea. Here's Killian Brennan being chased by Shane O'Morey, gets it into the man they want. The shooter is Niall Deasy. A shot off Niall Deasy, and it goes to the left hand side and gone wide. And Brendan, that was tremendous team play up along, all the passes stuck, and they were getting it to the men they wanted, the shooter, and unfortunately the shooter was off target.
Yeah, look at Leo, you need to be nailing those shots when you get them, and unfortunately from Ballyea, it's sapping the energy out of them, seeing those balls go wide, and now look at Bridge, in for another goal.
That's tremendous play from Sixmilebridge. Derek Fahey's puck out to Alex Morey, out to Brian Curry, and it's not played that you'd associate with Davy Fitz, and a lot of people would have be criticising for his game, but direct route goal for Sixmilebridge, Brendan.
Yeah, well look at I suppose Leo, you can't say he's not associated with it, because he kind of is. You've seen it for Wexford this year against Kilkenny, where a lot of direct puck outs were pucked down on top of Conor McDonald down the centre, and they got dividends from it. But they have a little bit of a win behind them, so they used it. And Alex Murray is causing havoc up there, being honest with you. And it's great to see him back after a year out. He's added a real threat up there for Sixmilebridge. Yeah,
and the Bridge into this infancy, 2 goals and 12 points for Sixmilebridge, 10 points for Ballyea, and it just shows that the Bridge can mix up the game in any way they want, and they can go short, they can go long, they can play through the lines and go direct. And here's Shane O'Morey, the joint captain for Sixmilebridge, cuts his ball across, looking for the same Alex Morey. Cathal Malone, very busy. Cathal Malone looking out first for every ball, leading the Ballyea defence. And Mary Dance here in Cusack Park turns off his right hand side. Malone strikes it, but it goes out to the left hand side and gone wide. But in fairness, Brendan, look from our company position here up in the stand, the movement of the Bridge players, they're all over the place, and they have a purpose and they know what they're about.
Yeah, and they're really fit, I suppose, and that's credit to Timmy Crowe, their strength and conditioning coach at the moment. He's done a good job with them. They seem very, very fit, very, very fast, and eager for action.
As we speak, here comes Niall Deasy. A shot, and it goes up. I think he's gone off. The umpires are undecided, but it's going to be pulled back for a free. But again, you can't.
Ball.
Yeah, he's waving, but it's going to be pulled back for the free. Niall Deasy was pulled back there by Barry Fitzpatrick, and I tell you, you speak about the top class players, county players, and you just can't give him an inch. DC had only one thing in his mind there, was the green flag.
He did, but he probably still should have stuck at Leo all the same. He was in like that, and we've seen in, I suppose, Shane O'Donnell in the 2013 All-Ireland final how he nearly batted into net. I think Niall, if he'd gone in a bit further, there seems to be a bit of argy-bargy down here in the goal mouth.
Yeah, indeed, the corner forward and the
Derek Fahey seems to be down.
The goalkeeper is lying out flat inside the back of the goals, and the corner forward, it looks like Damien Burke has been called out by the referee. I'm not too sure what happened after. The fact is that the Bridge goalkeeper is still flat out inside in the goals, and the referee doesn't seem to be paying any attention to the goalie being left down. There's no doubt about it.
There
was no doubt about it. There was a skirmish, and he'd better get up, because
free was overturned.
It's going to be a throw in now anyway. So as Derek Fahey receives attention, and again, Brendan, it says people say even though the Bridge are 8 points up and Ballyea have the cushion of being still back, it shows they still want to win this.
Yeah, most definitely. Sure, why wouldn't they want to win it, and I don't think they're looking to the football or, ClareGAA in a week's time and the important game they have. They want to win this game, and anytime you play Sixmilebridge, I suppose teams, get another gear, especially clubs like Ballyea. So, they want to win this game. But, the Bridge are firmly in control at the moment, Leo.
Yeah, indeed. Sixmilebridge in the ascendancy. Sixmilebridge 2 goals and 12. That's 18 points. Ballyea 10 points. So 8 points in the ascendancy for Sixmilebridge. A throw in on the D. Going to be thrown in by Chris Maguire, Barry Fitzpatrick and Niall Deasy. I tell you, the Bridge, there is a business like about the Sixmilebridge, and every ball has been contested vigorously. The ball is thrown in and comes out to Deasy Fitzpatrick, and unfortunately he pushes Niall Deasy on the back on this occasion, and I think maybe it was an easy enough decision. I think they were going to get a free in either way, Brendan.
Yeah. Look, I suppose they had been awarded the free beforehand, and it was a free, and you'd be expecting Niall Deasy to put the ball over the bar here.
Yeah, he's in a hurry to get it on, and he throws it over the bar. It's 2 goals and 12 to 11 points. That's 7 points of a lead now for Derek Fahey and Sixmilebridge, and Derek in no particular hurry to puck this. So now Paul Flanagan now gone back trying to mind the D. We'll see if is Derek going to go along with this one. Indeed he is. Here comes Derek, he's looking for the runners, and Cathal Malone makes the run for him, tries it out, looking out towards Alex Morey and Malone. The ball goes up, Morey puts up the hand, the ball is blocked away by Brian Carrick, but Malone does well, but he already succeeds in finding Martin O'Leary, the dual player, another one of the dual players, but not from ClareGAA. This man is from Kilmahel, gives it to Gary Brennan. Gary, quite enough at the moment, gets the ball down into the corner, looking for Damien Burke, but it's an old Purcell, the old warrior Purcell comes out with this ball, trying to come out for the Bridge, and here he comes, he's robbed by Niall Deasy. Deasy running a lone furrow up there for Ballyea. A shot from Niall Deasy goes out to the right hand side and gone wide. And Brendan, some of the decision from Niall Deasy this evening, not the usual Niall Deasy.
Yeah, definitely not, no, but we've seen Niall down through the years, pop those balls over the bar for fun, and unfortunately today he's just having a bit of an off day, and when you get those chances, then you really have to be nailing them.
And another new player arriving on the scene for Ballyea is Morgan Barry, and also Aaron Griffin making a return to the Ballyea team, and it looks like young Crow is going off. Mark Crow going off the Ballyea team. So changes on the Ballyea team. We also must say hello to Brendan O'Flynn, watching out in California. Brendan, we hope you're enjoying our broadcast here from Cusack Park Ennis. We also have Mike Liddy tuning in, Joseph Miskell looking into us, and Podge is also listening to us, and Gareth McPhillips. So the ball is plucked out towards James, but caught by James Murphy in the middle of the field for Ballyea. Pops the pass off to Gary Brennan. Here comes Gary Brennan, and here comes the men they want on the run. It's Tony Kelly, a shot from Tony Kelly over the bar. In fairness, Brendan, it's just simple game, and it works so well.
It does, yeah. Look, Ballyea have been doing that for years now at this stage, and you could hear it even up here, Leo. You could hear Tony call for that ball from Gary, and ran onto beautifully and a super score. And they're going to need a lot more from Tony in the next in the next 20 minutes. If they're going to resurrect this game. Indeed,
Sixmilebridge in the lead by 2 goals and 12 points. What a catch by Jack Brown. We're just gone into 11 minutes gone here in the second half, and the ball breaks down from Jack Brown. The Bridge, and it's Malone trying to bear down and goals. Here's strong man Cathal Malone, tries to get around Brian Carrigan, pulled down, and I tell you one thing, Cathal Malone, direct running, Brendan, he drew the free. Yeah, look, big strong man, target man up front, and when he gets like that, and bearing down on goal and gets up ahead of steam, he's very, very hard to stop, and he's, I suppose he hasn't scored too much today, but he has worked himself absolutely into the ground, and I suppose the way that system works and the way Fitzy, I suppose has lined out the players, you really do need the guy that's inside in the full forward line really, really working hard, and Cathal has brought it today. Yeah, indeed, Cathal Malone, who was the chief marksman, the Leicester with 3 goals and 2 points, as Brendan says, maybe not on the scoreboard today, but his leadership qualities are second to none, and he's bringing many other players into the game, and also he's winning the frees, and the free from Alex Morey over the bar. Sixmilebridge 2 goals and 13, Ballyea 12 points. Very cool with the puck out for Ballyea in a more particular hurry now. Pucks it out, goes out here. The Bridge playing with days of the breeze here in the second half down towards the early goal. The ball out towards Evan McInerney and Tony Kelly. And I suppose, Brendan, when he got that one, Jason McNairn just stop at source. Yeah. But look, he had to win the ball in the first place. And I suppose when you see your team down 13 to 12 points, you need to be winning those balls. You need to show leadership, and Tony's really stepping up to the mark. And a free for Tony Kelly, 70 yards from the Sixmilebridge goals. Is he going? Yeah, he's going to take this one himself. Tony Kelly has also taken frees for Clare in the past, and a winner of young hurler and senior player a year in the 1 year. an all-star and a massive, one of the best hurlers ever to race the Clare jersey, in conjunction with the man here right beside me, straight over the bar from Tony Kelly. 2 goals and 13 points for Sixmilebridge, 13 points for Ballyea. What a goal for Ballyea would do for this game, as Derek Fahey comes at the puck out for Sixmilebridge. We're gone in just 13 minutes gone here in the second half in our inaugural championship game here on ClareGAATV, and the puck out goes down to Jason Loughnane. Jason Loughnane is being beaten, but the ball breaks out to Jack Brown. Jack Brown clears it up in front of the stand here, out towards Aaron Griffin and Noel Purcell. Purcell comes away for the bridge, and Purcell, I tell you, does a strong man, gets the ball down to Morey. Morey gets the ball down. Oh, he tries to get away from Brian Carrick. He's been battled up by Jack Brown, and I think he's been fouled by Jack Brown. And in fairness, Brendan, Alex Morey, you spoke about it earlier in commentary. Good to see him back, but he's proven more than a handful for Ballyea.
Oh, definitely. He's having a fine game there now, Leo, being honest with you. And, it's interesting the way Sixmilebridge are playing. They're rotating the guy that's staying inside. But it's between Alex and it's between Cathal Malone, and I suppose Ballyea don't know, who to go or who to follow, who to mark really, and he's been a real threat inside there. And look at, with no greater player than Niall Gilligan now, I suppose, on the bench today, having Alex, taking over the frees as well. He's a really accomplished free taker, and he's nailing those today as well. So it's great to see Alex back.
Yeah, and the puck out goes out from Berrycool, broken down to Jamie Shanahan. Jamie opens up the shoulders, and I tell you, with ease, puts it straight back over the bar. That's 2 goals and 15 points for Sixmilebridge, 13 points for Ballyea. And indeed, Brendan, Sixmilebridge putting down a big marker here.
Yeah, serious marker. They're playing the county champions at the end of the day, and after today they're going to be real title contenders.
And a great ball from Cathal Malone down the corner to Brian Curry. Curry turns off his left hand side, and a shot from Brian Curry, but it goes out to the right hand side and gone wide. And once again, Cathal Malone, who had won the ball, had sprinted 70 yards up for the return pass but didn't receive it. The ball comes out towards Jack Brown. Jack Brown's pass is cut out by Jason Loughnane. Jason Loughnane, the midfielder. Jason strikes it off his left hand side, straight over the bar. Sixmilebridge, 2 goals and 16. Ballyea, 13 points. And as we said, Brendan, Ballyea, the county champions from last year, have been taught a lesson here by Sixmilebridge.
They are, Leon. Look, they've been made look very ordinary, being honest. And Sixmilebridge have really brought the fight today. They've won the tactical battle, and they seem to be in control in most areas in the field.
Yeah, and the ball is out here right in front of the stand here, in the hands of Gary Brennan. Gary Brennan, as the Clare, probably better known as a footballer. He's the Clare football captain, and we would hope that maybe Gary Brennan would maybe pick up an all-star letter, because he gave some tremendous performances for the Clare footballers, as he always does. The ball is out to the middle of the field. The best sub on for Ballyea is Morgan, as we said, Morgan Gary, who appeared there, and a free for Ballyea going to be taken by Tony Kelly. And that's what Brendan, we talk about Gary Brennan, and he's a tremendous footballer, and I suppose many people have asked the question, what would he have been like if he played hurling for Clare?
I suppose that is the question, Leo. I think he'd have been a fantastic hurler, because Gary, it's just the way he applies himself. I think if he played American football, he'd be a brilliant American footballer. Like, it's just, it didn't matter if it was golf, if it was whatever. I just think he's that sort of a person. It doesn't matter what sport he's playing. I think he would have been excellent at it.
And tensions are afraid here out on the sideline. Tony Kelly's free. It was touch and go, whether it was gone over the bar or not here from
Tony's very short as a point.
Commentary position. I thought it was over the bar myself, to be quite honest about it. Tony was fairly adamant, and I think he came over to make his views known to the
Hawkeye. Isn't in here today, Leo, is it?
No, there's no Hawkeye. No Hawkeye in Cusack Park. There's a lot of eyes, Brendan, but not Hawkeye. But Davy Fitz was fighting his corner there. I tell you, even though they're up by 16 to 13 points, there's no score. Let away without
it was a point, all right. Fair is fair. It's a point.
And I think is the umpire referee going to give the point. We're waiting to see for the signal. We're waiting to see what Chris Maguire was going to do, and he's pulling out the notebook. There's a sub coming on for Ballyea. It's Peter Casey coming on for Ballyea, a member of the Clare under-20 team, defeated by Cork down in Páirc Uí Rinn earlier on, and he's taken the place of Brian Carrick, as Kevin Sheehan is taking the time to run the bench and maybe get championship time into some of the younger legs. And I don't think the score I'm not sure, he hasn't been given yet. He's going to be playing yet. The decision stands. It's gone wide, and a puck out for Derek Fahey for Sixmilebridge as the clock ticks on 17 minutes, and Fahey goes long straight down the middle, and now it's inside on top of Alex Morey, and ball breaks down and comes out to Jamie Shanahan. Jamie Shanahan is beaten by Brian Casey. Brian Casey gets it out to Gary Brennan, and Gary Brennan, even Gary is contesting the decision. I think he touched the ball on the ground, and a free in for Alex Morey. And things heating up a bit here, Brendan.
Yeah, look, it's just probably frustrating from Garvey. He knows himself he beat the ball off the ground there, and it's just kind of real frustration. It's very un-Gary Brennan-like, but, Alex Morey standing over the free here again, should put it over the bar, should see Sixmilebridge go 10 points clear.
Yeah, indeed, it's 2-17 for Sixmilebridge, 13 points for Ballyea. Indeed, Alex Morey's marksman supreme gets the sharp puck out from Barry Coote out to Paul Flanagan. Paul Flanagan gets out, comes out. He's going to look for Jack Brown. Here comes Casey coming over it. Brian Casey. Peter Casey, Gamalishkill, and he's met in the middle of the field by a wave of bodies, and Cayman Morey is one of those. He pops the pass off to Jamie Shanahan. Shanahan opens up the shoulders. This one is going to drop down. The sun in the eyes of Barry Coote, but the ball drops short. Here comes the Ballyea goalkeeper. Puts the pass out to Brandon O'Connell. Brandon O'Connell trying to get away from Jason McNairn. Jason McNairn working hard as he tries to get O'Connell. Strikes a lovely ball up the line, up towards Aaron Griffin, and the ball comes off the stick of Aaron Griffin. And Brendan, you would have expected Ballyea to be that bit sharper. They had a big game against Clooney Quinn, which went takes the time to Leicester. You would have expected Ballyea to be a bit sharper today.
You would, Leo. You just wonder, has it taken a little bit out of the legs, especially with the football there again last week as well, while the Bridge had a reasonably comfortable win over Clarecastle, had the 2 weeks to freshen up and really gear themselves towards this big game, There's no doubt about it that the Bridge are a fresher team here today.
And the ball is breaking through for Pat Mulready. They're very impressive Pat Mulready, whose goal put a bit of daylight between the teams. Kicked up by Jack Brown. Jack Brown passed the ball out to Morgan Gary, one of the younger guns on the Ballyea team, plays the ball into the corner looking for Martin O'Leary, and Martin O'Leary won't appreciate the run like that as the ball defeats him and goes out over the line. A line ball for looks like a deflated Ballyea team at this stage. As I said, Ballyea, their sister club is Clondegad, who also play in the football championship, and they suffered a comprehensive defeat here to Cratloe last Sunday, Brendan. A team that well, that you played for many years with Cratloe, and you'd wonder, even though it is a different code, defeats can suck the life out of you.
They can, of course, Leo. Yeah, they can, of course. And I suppose with the football, it's really, a game of running yourself into the ground, and especially the way ClareGAA do play and the way Cratloe play as well, So there's no doubt about it. A lot of those boys, would have put in a good few K last weekend playing that club football game. And as you said, it's a lot easier when you win these games, but when you lose them, you're not happy that night, and it takes a couple of days to get over a defeat, so no doubt about it has taken a little bit of effect here today, I think. Yeah, and the long clearance from Conor Deasy finds Malone. Is he going to go up in his account? Indeed, gone out to the left hand side and gone wide, and Cahill draws his eyes up to heaven. Even though he's working hard, he's not getting the reward on the scoreboard, but I tell you, the Bridge are getting the reward. And the ball, great flick away from Conor Deasy to get away from Jack Brown. Here comes Brian Curry. He's going to bear down a goal. Brian Curry, he's been pulled for over carrying, and I think Brendan, an early pass there to Alex Morey, and we would have had goal number 3. He should have given it in, but that the pressure that the Sixmilebridge forwards were putting on the Ballyea backs coming out, you don't really see Jack Brown getting dispossessed like that, but he was turned over there. Brian was through, should have given a little pop past Alex, and it would have been goal number 3 for Sixmilebridge.
And the ball is out with Niall Deasy, and again Niall Deasy being penalised for picking the ball off the ground, and frustration there with Niall as he bangs the ball down on the ground. But indeed, Brendan, it's a real Davy Fitzgerald team performance. All the players are just working all over the field so hard, and you work yourself to the bone, and then maybe you get replaced. But he'll be quite happy with the work rate of Sixmilebridge here today.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Look at it, and the work rate starts, from number 15, and how many times have we seen Sixmilebridge forwards turn over Ballyea defenders when they're coming out, and it just gives a whole lift to the whole team. But the way they're set up is really, really clever, and as you just hit the nail head, Leo, when you're playing, I suppose, with fewer forwards than 6, you really, really need to bring that work rate from them, and as you said, run yourself into the ground. And if it's only for 50 minutes, it's 50 minutes. They have players to come on and finish off the job, like Kevin Lynch, and Gilly is mentioned there, even though I don't think he's tagged today. I see Paddy Fitz is back from the States. He was playing there over the summer, so they have guys to come on and finish off the job for them if they need be.
Yeah, and that free from Cayman Morey went over the bar, so it's now 2 goals and 18 points for Sixmilebridge, 13 points for Ballyea. Tony Kelly with the quick free, lobs this one in towards the square. He's looking for Niall Deasy. The body's running around ready, and the ball breaks down, and it comes out to the very impressive Cayman Morey, and Morey strikes this ball. And again, as Brendan, you mentioned it on the first step, hitting the ball into space. It's all about space, as Cahill Malone as the Bridge, really a very fit, very well prepared Sixmilebridge team. Ball broken up by James Murphy. Murphy gets the ball. Brian Carey beaten on this occasion by Martin O'Leary. Here comes Martin O'Leary, bearing down on the 21, and thou shalt not pass is the rule there, Brendan. Cayman Morey, and the old adage, keep him outside from getting in for the goal.
Yeah, a little bit of experience shown there by Cayman, and sometimes it can be a good free to give away, Leo, and I think that was a great one to give away, being honest with you. I think if Sixmilebridge can hold, they look like they have the game in the bag now at this stage, and they won't want to concede a goal, for themselves and their own pride, but it looks like the game is in the bag anyway.
Yeah, 2 goals and 18 points for Sixmilebridge, 13 points for Ballyea. 23 minutes gone here in the second half. As I said, on our inaugural game here on ClareGAATV. Niall Deasy going to go for the goal. Indeed, he went for the goal and is blocked by Derek Fahey, and out for a 65. Good save by Fahey, one-handed save. DC did go for the goal, but a perfect height for the goalkeeper. But even looking at Brendan, looking at Ballyea players, there's no great life. They're all standing up with hands on their hips. I see Jack Brown trying to rally the truth, but a lot of Ballyea players with their hands on their hips, and they just seem, waiting for even at this stage, waiting for the final whistle.
Yeah, exactly. And look at it, the only one I can see really out there that has that massive urgency about him is Tony. And I know he's got 5 points from play today, but he's still, he's fighting to the very, very end, like Tony always does. But yeah, like you said there, Leo, there has been a lack of urgency definitely from Ballyea today, and I don't know what it is. And we can point to the football last weekend, or their tough game 2 weeks ago against Clooney Quinn as well, which went all the way to extra time. And look at, there's another wide for Ballyea.
Yeah, indeed, it's Murphy's Law. When it goes and anything goes wrong, it all goes wrong. And the free from Tony Kelly, that's struck with any conviction at that stage, and the ball goes out to the right hand side, gone wide. And here comes Derek Fahey with a quick puck out down towards Paul Flanagan. Flanagan blocks it down, but it comes to Brian Curry. Brian Curry being chased there by Gary Brennan. Cathal Malone in and wins the ball. Cathal Malone, he was very close line. Good play there by Brian Casey for Ballyea. He gets the ball down. Here's Noel Purcell. Noel Purcell, a very accomplished cornerback, getting the ball. The ball is being beaten. It comes out to, is it Aaron Griffin? Aaron Griffin get the ball out towards Tony Kelly. TK working hard for Ballyea, and he's being pulled for over carrying there. I think on that occasion maybe a bit. And after shot there, I think Tony is already in a car to be Brendan, and maybe he might tug a bug for the rest of the game.
I think he was only passing the ball back to Shane Golden to take the free earlier.
Yeah, they should always say, Brendan, you should give a fair and pass. There's no doubt about that.
You should.
The clearance from Barry Cool finds out to Morgan Gary. Gary, is he going to give the pop pass? No, he's going to be taken into contact. No, he drives it in. And a high challenge by Jamie Shanahan. A rather I think an accidental challenge, because Brendan, Jamie Shanahan isn't that type of player.
He's not that type of player whatsoever, and I just think he was trying to get the hook in and just a little bit kind of high with the hook, and it just clipped the player in the back of the head.
Yeah, and a free in now on about 25 metres out from the Sixmilebridge goal. As we said, Sixmilebridge, who have been defending the goal here at the town end here in the second half, and Derek Fahey hasn't been really tested too much here in the second half, and we're interested to see what Niall Deasy does on this occasion. I think he's going to tap it over the bar. The Ballyea forwards haven't even gone in looking for a rebound event, and so Ballyea and Niall Deasy put the ball over the bar. 2 goals and 18 points for Sixmilebridge, 14 points for Ballyea. That's 10 points of a lead for Sixmilebridge as we move into the last 5 minutes here of normal time here in the second half of this match. And as you said, Brendan, Kevin Lynch, when lads run themselves into the ground and is adjacent, and a man who has covered a lot of K in the middle of the field for Sixmilebridge, and you said here comes Kevin Lynch on to finish the job.
Yeah, and I think Jason can be very, very proud of his performance. Really good play. I think he got 3 points from play as well. So Kevin Lynch has come in now to finish off the job, and Kevin, a very dedicated player, in serious condition, and I'm sure he'll see out the game for them.
Yeah, and the puck out from Derek Fahey goes straight down long, and James Murphy, in fairness to Murphy, he has worked his socks off. Ball out towards Brendan O'Connell. Brendan O'Connell being flicked away by the same side. Kevin Lynch. Here comes Tony Kelly being hounded there by Alex Morey. Alex is one of them at the free for Tony with a quick free. A 1-on-1 here between Niall Deasy and Fitzpatrick. Great play, blocked down by Fitzpatrick, but Deasy has the ball on his hand. Here comes Deasy for Ballyea, cutting in a shot and tips it over the bar. That's what Niall Deasy can do. And I see Barry Fitzpatrick giving out to the rest of the players that he was left on 1-on-1 with Niall Deasy. 2 goals and 18 points for Sixmilebridge, 15 points for Ballyea. And the ball is poked, as we said, Niall Deasy on the replay putting the ball over the bar. And here comes the sub on for, it's Ryan Griffin, another man who played in the county final number of years ago. And here comes the puck out from Derek Fahey for Sixmilebridge. We're in the dying embers here of this round 2 winners game here in this championship game, here county championship game. And here comes Noel Purcell, the cornerback, from the puck out from Derek Fahey, and the ball, here comes Purcell, he breaks it, he passes the ball off to Cayman Morey. Cayman Morey strikes off his right hand side and straight over the bar for Sixmilebridge. There's no doubt about it, Brendan Bugler, Sixmilebridge are going to be very hard to beat in this championship.
Going to be very hard to beat, Leo, and I suppose that was a trademark score to the style of hurling that they're trying to play. Noel Purcell has been really, really impressive at full back. Anytime he gets the ball,
and
Accidental
there's
blow.
an accidental incident right down here in front of us. I think was
Accidental
it
blow.
Evan McInerney or whatever turned up the ball, and he is it Brendan O'Connell? Is it not? Isn't Brendan O'Connell?
Killian Brennan.
It's Killian Brennan is the player who received a high bang. We'll show it now. Yeah, indeed, an incident there on the sideline and innocuous, but a hefty challenge, and we hopefully see Killian back on the field sooner rather than later, Brendan.
Yeah, look, Evan just threw up the ball to hit it, and I suppose Killian just came in and it accidentally, the hurl just flew up and hit him in the helmet. It's a totally accidental, so hopefully he's not seriously hurt.
Yeah, indeed, and Ballyea and Clondigad would hope that Killian would be back. And we're now going to show you the first goal here for Sixmilebridge, a goal that really set him on the way from Pam Mulready.
Yeah, and I suppose, Leo, it was a great ball across again, as we said, from Connor DC, right into Paz path, and he finished it excellently.
And now we're going to have a look at the second goal, Brendan, which really gave the Bridge the cushion.
DJ again, high ball into Kim Moore, and Brian Curry, he's deadly from that, from that distance out. But it was that direct ball that you said you said that was unfitsy like, but really, we have seen that, tactic with him before. He's able to mix it as going short as well as going long, and that was a classic case.
Yeah, and indeed has put the Bridge very much in the ascendancy, Brendan, and on the road to victory here, and goals win matches, and they took the goals very, very well. Brian Curry, an accomplished player, young player, hoping maybe to make it more of a name for himself in this year's championship. Yeah,
exactly. I think Brian Curry is county standard, being honest with you. Had a real good championship, 2 years ago when Sixmilebridge won it. So really good player, and one to look forward to for the future. But I think he's going to have a really good championship for Sixmilebridge.
And a free, good to see Killian Brennan back on the field of play, and I see Barry Coffey checking his whereabouts, whether they're going to leave him on. I think Killian wants to see out the game.
I think at this stage he'd be nearly better off coming off, I think, Leo, and I think that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, indeed, good management there by Kevin Sheehan and the mentors of Ballyea as Killian, but good to see him be able to walk off the field of play. He's a lot more games to come for his out. Niall DC, he's going to drop this one, tips it in, and he's caught inside by the goalkeeper Derek Fahey, and Tony lets him know he's in around there, setting down a marker maybe for championship games to come later on. But again, the mobility of Sixmilebridge, Brendan, and Ballyea maybe didn't give him the test that they were, the Bridge were looking for this evening, but it's a test that Bridge have passed whatever has been thrown at them. But the mobility, and no better than that young player that we mentioned who got the first goal, Pam Mulready.
Yeah, exactly, and I was surprised to see him start, being honest with you, Leo. But real fast player, and when you have players that have that pace, they can cause serious damage, and he did cause serious damage today.
And he had a good ball into Ronan Keane from Kevin Lynch over there into Cathal Malone over the bar, 2 goals and 20. A very good scoreline in any day, to 2 goals and 20 to 15 points. The ball breaks down to Niall DC and Barry Fitzpatrick, and DC is being pulled back there, and Niall not happy. I think Brendan, he was looking maybe to get a run in goals in that.
Yeah, occasion. I think he wanted the advantage there, Leo, but he still would have had to, to go 45 yards, in order to try get a goal. So I think, the free is the correct option. He should just throw it over the bar here.
Yeah, free 50 metres out from the Sixmilebridge goal, and Niall just nonchalantly throws it over the bar. 2 goals and 20 to 16 points. And Brendan, even at this stage in the championship, 2 goals and 20, you want to be racking up that to that scoreline maybe to be sure of victory.
You would, yeah. Look, I suppose in conditions, almost perfect conditions here this evening, 220 is a score you'd have said that would win the game today. And Sixmilebridge, they've done really well, and they've hit a couple of wides too. So they've let a couple of scores out there as well.
Yeah, and the ball is out now with Pam Mulready. Jack Brown is fighting it. He's fighting to the bitter end here for Ballyea, and the ball is out towards Ballyea, back towards Paul Flanagan. Paul Flanagan receives a pass from Ryan Griffin. Flanagan maybe not in the match as much as you like, but Paul has been out with injuries only not too long back, so championship game will do him any will be of great benefit to him. And the ball comes out to Shane Golden strikes his ball down looking for Alex Murray, down on a 1-on-1 with Peter Casey, who has done well since being introduced for Ballyea. Gets the ball, crosses it out, looking out towards the middle of the field, out towards Jamie Shanahan, but the ball comes out to Evan McInerney gets the ball out to Conor DC out on the line here, being chased by Jack Brown, gets the ball across out to Mulready, a shot from Pam Mulready, and he's gone straight over the bar. Per Mulready, who was first goal, really set the Bridge on the way to victory here this evening. Is he going to get the last score here in Cusack Park as the clock ticks on towards 33 minutes? 2 goals and 21 for the men from Drogheda Garnick, and 16 points for the men from Ballyea, and the ball comes out to DC. Great catch from DC, a shot from DC. If the Bridge can do it in a simple game, that's a marvellous score, Brendan. What a score from DC. Puck out.
Wonderful score. You know, such strength from DC, you know, under the high ball, and shrugged off Barry Fitzpatrick, and just, you know, it was nearly a strike in anger more than anything else, Leo, you know, but you know, super score.
Yeah, indeed. 2 goals and 21 for Sixmilebridge, 17 points for Ballyea. Here comes Brandon O'Connell. Brandon, who's been quieter than normal here, trying to come up, gets the ball, he's up along the wing, looking for the sub from Ballyea is Aaron Griffin. Aaron Griffin gets it out, but he's been beaten by Brian Curry. Curry now back, and a ball over the top, looking for Jamie Shanahan. Cool comes out. Coolness personified. Clears that ball out towards Mark and Gary. Gary touch lets him down, but it comes to Mulready. Mulready has the presence of mind to pass the ball back to Cathal Malone. Malone going to find Jamie Shanahan. Great play for Malone. Find the shooter, find the better striker. But Jamie turns off his right hand side, but unfortunately it goes out to the right hand side and gone wide. And you know, as we come into the 9 numbers here of this second round championship game winner section, it's the Bridge who are going into the quarter final, Brendan, and as we speak, Chris Maguire calls full time here. Sixmilebridge move into the quarter final, 2 goals and 21 to 17 points. However, all is not lost for Ballyea. Ballyea will go back into the loser section and can come back in again, but at the end of the day, a great win for a very business like Sixmilebridge.
Yeah, super win. They can be delighted with their day's work, you know, and as I said, Leo, they wanted to get into the you know, quarter final, and they're now in the quarter final, so they'll be a force to be reckoned with. That it?
And now you're welcome back here to Cusack Park. And Brendan, you know, we spoke about that, you know, Sixmilebridge have really set down a big marker here this evening. You know, very business-like performance, very mobile all over the field. As you said, they left some scores out there, but again, at the end of the day, 220, a substantial score.
Yeah, look, I don't think anyone would have seen, you know, would have forecasted a 221 to 17 point victory by Sixmilebridge this evening, Leo. So, you know, a lot of the young players really stood out for me here today. The likes of Jason Lucknan stood up. You know, Alex Morey was back. You know, really stood up. You know, Cathal Malone. You know, and Mulready as well was absolutely outstanding. So, you know, they're definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with. You know, and you'd be brave man to bet against Sixmilebridge this year.
Indeed, we're going down to the sideline. We have Derek Lynch is on the sideline with Bridge Giant captain Shane Morey.
Thanks very much indeed for that. Shane Morey here on the sideline. Shane, a lot to like about that win for Sixmilebridge.
Yeah, look, coming into the game we knew we would be up for it, like, you know, Ballyea are champions and they're deservedly so after their year last year, like, so we knew, look, they were a favourite going into the game, which we kind of drove us on a bit more, like, so we just, after the Clarecastle game, we just planned everything going ahead, like, and look, it's just sweet to get the win and get into that quarter-final spot. Like, it's a massive to kind of get that 4-week break now and just rest the body for a week or two and get straight back into it again, like, so that's our aim now.
Yeah, and I guess it's that double-edged sword, wasn't it, that you'll get the 4-week break and you'll also carry the confidence of taking down the champions.
Absolutely, like, you know, Joe, winning breeds winning, like, and that's what you want to be doing, like, and to get that break in between two is massive, like, so it's what we targeted at the start of the year, just to take it game by game and put in a performance, and that's what we felt we did today. Like, we performed well and we're happy with the result now, to be honest. Yeah,
you look like a team that are very comfortable with the style that you're playing, that off the shoulder support play, and then you've got the long option into the likes of Cathal and Brian Curry inside, so, you know, you've got it on both fronts.
Absolutely, like, at the start of the year, you know, Davey came in with us and he set out the structure that he wanted to do and the game plan with us, like, and in fairness to the lads, like, they you know, they bought into it, like, and 1 to 30, like, we trained as hard as we could hitting it and just, you know, working with that structure and that game plan, and, you know, we can mix the two, like, you know, we're not afraid to, you know, let the long ball in, we're not all short ball and stuff like that, like, but it's, working well for us at the moment. But look, we'll just have to focus on the quarter final now, and then we have to put another performance in. That's the main thing.
Yeah, but I suppose you can go into a quarter final with the experience of knowing, how to handle this time of year. I mean, the knockout stages are no strangers to you over the last 6-7 years.
Well, I would we've put it in, but there has been years where every second year we've kind of got caught. So it's keeping that mentality and that mindset right. We need to do that. We have got caught in other years after once we were champions, and the next year we just didn't put in that performance or didn't have that maybe mentality that we should have. So it's just keep it going game by game really. And there's no better man for Fitzy to install that into us. So hopefully we can drive on and keep going.
And just to finish up with a word on a man that's being interviewed over to your left hand side, I think all Clare GAA fans, no matter what your background is, we're delighted to see Jamie Shanahan come on the last day against Clarecastle and sparkled again today in a starting role. Brilliant to have him back.
Absolutely, to see him back even in training was a massive boost for the players. And he was a massive loss even for Clare this year. You could see from last year the unreal performances he put in a wing back, and in fairness he's riddled with injuries, but he takes it every year coming back. He does his work, and amazing to see him out there. He's he wasn't even out for a year. He was just popping them over from everywhere, and just goes to show the player he is. And we're delighted to have him back on the team now.
Great stuff. Shannon Bridge, joint captain, thanks for joining us here on the sideline, lads. After that win over at Ballyea, we'll hand it back to the lads to wrap it up. We're going to finish up actually with the coverage here down the sideline. The first ever broadcast for ClareGAATV ends up with Sixmilebridge recording a comfortable win over Ballyea. Thanks everybody that was involved in the broadcast, and we'll see you again shortly. That went reasonably well.
Feedback, comments on stream now, or fairly decent like that? About 600 or 700 for a first day out, that's good.
Indeed, Joe, welcome back here to the commentary position here for ClareGAATV, and I'm now joined by the County Board Chairman, Joe Cooney. Joe, a great initiative by the Clare County Board to set up ClareGAATV, to get our games promoted across all the diaspora and all our supporters all over the world.
Indeed it is, Leo. Look, this is a new venture for Clare GAA, and as you said yourself, ClareGAATV. And really the idea of this is that we promote our game. Promotions overseas, as we're all well aware, we have a lot of immigrants in foreign countries, and it is great that they can sit down tonight and enjoy at one of the championship matches in the second round of our senior hurling championship. It was a fantastic game of hurling, but it's really to promote the game, like what you said, Leo, to promote the game, and also for people in our own county that cannot get to the game, and also elderly people which would love watching the games and can get to see the games. So overall it is a mighty venture. I think it's something that's going to take off. We are going to do a number of games in our both hurling and football championships in the next rounds of them, but I think myself going forward it's the way forward, and really promoting the game like what you said.
And indeed our first game, our inaugural game here on ClareGAATV, was our last two champions, Ballyea and Sixmilebridge, and Sixmilebridge, they stepped up a good fare here this evening, but Sixmilebridge have really set down a marker, Joe.
They have indeed, Leo. Sixmilebridge look very impressive here this evening. In fairness to Ballyea, they forced it out to the very end, but I must say Sixmilebridge were impressive all over the field. They took some brilliant scores, they done excellent defending, and overall it was an excellent performance from Sixmilebridge, and as you said, they've laid down a marker for 2019.
And Joe, our championships, both football and hurling, in full swing.
Our championships on full swing every second weekend. Back to football next weekend, as you're well aware. Some lively contests there again next weekend, with the likes of Kilmorey Bricken playing Corofin, Ennis Diamond playing Clare, along with other matches, and also of course you've Evogue and Cratloe, which will be probably a cracker here in the park as well next summer. So very interesting games, and also an intermediate in Junior A. Them championships are all moving along as well. So overall it's hectic at the moment, and clubs are out there trying to keep in the championship and try and make progress.
And finally, Joe, our county management teams, you made a couple of decisions regarding some of the county managements during the week. You might be able to update us and maybe give us some other information on the other inter-county teams.
At the moment, Leo, we are working on the football managements. We have been talking to the senior football manager. Again, he's talking to his backroom team early next week, and after that we'll be making a final decision. But hopefully Colm Collins and his backroom team will be continuing on. We also spoke to the minor and under 20 football managements, and they're considering their positions at the moment. In fairness, I think my belief is they'll probably stay on, but we'll be talking to those also next week. As you're well aware, at the last county board meeting, we've asked to review the hurling setup. We are reviewing that at the moment, so that is going on at the moment, and hopefully we'll have more progress made on that next week, Leo.
Indeed, Joe. Thanks for your time.
And also, Leo, before we finish, I just want to remind clubs and patrons that our draws for the next round of the Senior Hurling Championship Senior Hurling Championship will take place tomorrow evening. Also, the Intermediate Hurling Championship. So them draws are on tomorrow evening in GAA headquarters, Clare GAA, at 6:30 p.m. and all are welcome to attend.
Indeed, Joe Cody, Chairman of the County Board, thanks very much for your time. We hope you enjoyed our broadcast here on our inaugural debut, or inaugural day here on ClareGAATV, live from Cusack Park. It's the Bridge who take the spoils by 2:21 to 17 points. From all here in Cusack Park, it's Bennock Day, August Lawn.